Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Saturday night. It can only mean one thing. Saturday Night Live Weathering with me, your host, Ted. Just got done watching Steve. Oh, hold on. All right. It will help if I turn the microphone on, right, guys? Welcome Saturday Night Live Weathering with me, Ted, your host. Another Saturday night, and here we are. Glad to be here. Glad everybody's here with me. Just got done watching Steve. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe to Steve's channel. He's been doing a lot of great figure painting. He was working on a sign tonight for the railroad, Ironwood Railroad. And what was that? A fuel tank too? Really great, rusted up fuel tank. It was good, yeah. All right, let's say hi to everybody. Let's see, we got Bill Hawk. How are you, buddy? Steve, how's it going? John, how's it going, John Garvin? Ian, how you doing, buddy? Let's see who else we got here. Brad, how's it going, Brad? Good to see you. How's the weather down in New Zealand, buddy? Hopefully not too cold for you. JP, what's going on, JP? DMRJ, how's it going? Hey, Paul, how you doing, Paul? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you're here tonight. Thanks for joining on with us. Let's see, Steve's there. Did I miss anybody, Steve? Oh, Robert Cronin. How's it going, Robert Cronin? How you doing, buddy? John Gavin's here. I think I said John already. Yeah. Did I miss anybody else? If I missed anybody, let me know, guys. All right. Steve, I went down the checklist. Got my gloves on. All right. My PP, personal protective gear. And I got the chat set to the right thing. Let me just see, because sometimes I'm looking at the chat from my phone. And let's see, can I change that? No, that's all right. All right. Bruce Castle, how's it going, dude? I'm glad you're here. Saw you on Steve's live feed. So awesome, great stuff. Spike Rail, 3 Spike Rail Road. How you doing? Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? I don't think so. All right, guys. If I call you by your handle and you want to give me a first name that I can try to remember, like it took me quite a few weeks to remember JP, but. Bobby Hall, what's up, buddy? So 3 Spikes. If you got a name you want to go by, I'll try to remember it. Let's see, who else? Anybody else there? Jeff. All right, Jeff. I'll try to remember, Jeff. You can always remind me, all right? If you're back next week and I forget. So anyway, guys, I had a great week. Had a fun op session today. I went to my friend Tom Schmieder, who models the Lackawanna Railroad in 1950, I want to say 53 or 57. I can't remember. And it's quite an undertaking. He's got so much railroad shoehorned into that basement. He's got a nice sized basement too. But he has a bunch of the major lines of the Lackawanna as it ran through New Jersey, lots of parts of New Jersey and stuff. So it's my first time being over there. To run. I actually was at the beginning when he was starting to build it. I was one of the original people that got there for quite a few weeks, helping him get it started. And then life got in the way, and I hadn't been able to get over to Tom's house and help out or even run. I think I missed 3 op sessions before. This is the 4th one. But for something that's a brand new railroad, he's got it operating really, really well. Tom's very detail oriented, and he did a great job on his layout. And Lackawanna is one of my favorite railroads, and I'll enjoy it vicariously through Tom. I'm not going to model a Lackawanna, but I think at one point I was trying to in N-scale, but I'm happy that Tom's doing it. I'm happy to support his effort. So it's a great railroad, man. I'm hoping maybe one of these days he'll put like a little video up or something I could share with you guys. I did take some pictures. If I remember, I will try to either post them to the Around the Layout page on in Facebook. If you're not on the Around the Layout podcast page, please join that up. And think about maybe supporting the Around the Layout podcast. $3 a month to be in the operating crew. It's the best $3 you'll ever spend in your life. And I'm not being biased. I think Ray's a great guy. It's a great informative podcast, and I really like it. And Ray, I thank Ray all the time. He supports me on this channel. He's provided material support and just great advice and stuff like that. So I always try to shoot it back to Ray. So aroundthelayoutpodcast.com, Around the Layout. Join the operating crew. You can join us every Tuesday night. The operating crew has a special live call that we all get on and shoot degrees and do some modeling projects. And Ray keeps us up to date on what's the latest thing going on. Like I said, don't forget Steve's Ironwood Railroad channel on the Pine every Saturday night, 7:30, just before I come on. Also, don't forget my my sponsor, Unleaded Beverage Company. If you're interested in non-alcoholic beverages, my cousin is her company, and she ships all over the contingent 48 states in the U.S. I'm not sure about Alaska and Canada. I mean, Alaska and Canada. Canada's not a state as much as some people want it to be, but no, in Hawaii. But reasonable shipping costs. She's got a lot of unusual craft beers that are non-alcoholic, plus some spirits, non-alcoholic spirits, and non-alcoholic wines. So check that out, unleadedbev.com. All right. So let's see. Yes, John. ATPL operating crew. ATLP operating crew, the best bargain in model railroading. It sure is. It sure is. All right, let's see. So, okay, Jeff's in Illinois. That's great. Jeff, did you go to the St. Louis RPM? I mean, that's kind of it's in Illinois, but I know it's Southern Illinois. It's the bottom of the state. Didn't get a chance to go. I've been seeing some stuff from Ray, and I think they hit over 1,000 in attendance this year, which is a new record. They're usually like in the 800 and 900. So it's great. It's in the middle of the summer. It's a great alternative if you don't want to do the conventions and stuff. And I think it's over. I mean, they finished up today, Saturday. I think tomorrow they're having some kind of, I think they got a little extra fare, whether it's operating sessions or layout tour on the way home for people going home on Sunday. I will try to make it there next year. I knew I couldn't do it this year, but next year I want to make it there. So we'll see what happens. So let's see. JP. Oh, okay, Jeff. So Jeff, you're on Facebook. You got an N-Scale thing on Facebook. I am going to check it out. If you have a channel, put the link in the description here, and we will. I will subscribe to you on YouTube too if you have a channel. All right. If not, I'll join your Facebook page. So there you go, YouTube and Facebook. All right. Well, we definitely will look you up, and I will subscribe to your channel since you're here for me. So. All right, guys. So before we start, and before Bobby Hall says, "Hey, Ted, you forgot." No, Bobby, I didn't forget. I am having my beer for tonight. I have an order with my cousin for Unleaded Bev. It hasn't come in yet. So to hold me over, I have a Sam Adams non-alcoholic hazy IPA. I tried one of these last night, and it was very good. It tastes like a Sam Adams, And it's funny because there's only so much hoppiness I guess you can get in a non-alcoholic IPA, but it does a pretty good job. But it actually tastes like Sam Adams Boston Lager. The Boston Lager it's got a lot of hoppiness to it and stuff. So, and their Boston Lager is always like a borderline IPA, at least in my mind. That's what it tastes like. So we're going with the Sam Adams non-alcoholic hazy IPA. Let's pour some out. Like I said, I had one last night with my dinner, and it was extremely tasty. So I'm going to go for another one tonight. So let's see. Todd Armstrong, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, Tom. Yeah, Steve comes on a little earlier. I know some of you guys might not realize it. He's been coming on at 7:30 instead of 8, so it gives him a little bit more time. So make sure you check him out every Saturday. It's going to be every Saturday now from 7:30 till roughly about 9, just before I come on. So it's got a nice big head on it. See if we can get the whole thing in the glass without it over spilling here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice pour. Nice pour. All right, guys. Cheers. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Beautiful weekend here in New Jersey. It's summertime. Down the hatch, guys. Oh, that's good. Very good. I'm enjoying it. Got like a little malty taste to it. Very good. All right. So, anything happening this week besides my my op session today? Outside of hanging out with my little granddaughter yesterday at the pool, not much happening. I didn't do too much modeling wise. I did experiment a little bit, which brought me to the point of doing this card tonight. I think I had mentioned in the show description and on my post earlier this week on YouTube post that a few people are keep asking me to go back and revisit black cars and black engines and stuff like that. And I said something I'm trying to work on myself because I haven't really come up with anything that I'm totally happy with yet. I did the Pan Central RS1 a ways back, and that was okay. I think I would have rather might want to go back and revisit that a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, we did the black tank car, and that was a little bit better. I did work on and I think I showed you guys last week. It was a gondola, gondola, and I tried using the what is it called, neutral wash as a fader. And that was okay. And then I came up with a thought this week, and I experimented a little bit during the week on another car because I wanted to keep this car for tonight. And I found this L&E hopper, all right? And this is it without anything on it. And what I did is I turned around and I did a fade. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I'm going to work with what I did with this. And all I did with this, if you guys can see this really, I don't know if it's the lights shining too much on it or what. Maybe I try to bring it closer. Because you're trying to get a hazy look to the black. You don't want to turn it white. You don't want to turn it gray. But when black cars weather and fade, they kind of fade to a little bit more of a haze. So what I came up with was a combination of using the oil brusher medium gray right here and oil brusher white. I think a lot of people would think about just using white, but white would just kind of turn it into a very chalky mess. And I've done that in the past, and I don't want to show what it looked like. I wasn't happy with it. I don't want it chalky looking. I want it to be more, towards a lighter shade of black, if that's even possible, like a gray or whatever. And what I did with this car here was let me see if I get the car in the picture. I did my 2-to-1 ratio. I might even go more than that, maybe 3-to-1. Three of the gray to 1 of the white. All right, because I want the white to lighten it a little bit, but I don't want the white to be overpowering. I think the gray is just enough. I think the gray is just enough to give it that little bit of a fade look. This was 2-to-1. All right, and it still looks a little hazy, a little bit chalky, maybe not so much chalky, but we're going to try 3-to-1 on this one. All right, I'm going to put this car aside. I'm going to probably do this during the week. I'll finish it up on a short video and I'll post that up. Just a programming note for next week. I have a family function on Saturday, so I will not be on Saturday. I'm toying around with maybe going on Friday. I just to double check my calendar. I don't think I have anything going on Friday night, and I don't think I'll be up against anybody else if I go on Friday night at either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I'm not sure. If anybody knows of anybody that I might be interfering with, let me know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm thinking maybe by the end of this live stream, or maybe sometime beginning of the week, I'll decide if I'll go on Friday night or I'll just take the week off. I've done that a few times, right? I do have an important party to go to. One of my nieces, who I love very much. She's a young adult, and we're celebrating her becoming a young adult. So we will be with her, celebrating with her for Saturday night. So anyway, let's see. We have any questions before I start? Oh, you bring some cars to the St. Louis RPM, Jeff? Cool. Excellent. All right. I'll be looking for your pictures when they post the pictures from the RPM. All right. And you're thinking about going live too? Well, yeah, listen, when you pick your day and time, we'll try to promote you. We all promote each other. So, Around the Layout promotes me. Steve on the Pine Iron Railroad promotes me. I promote Steve. I promote Around the Layout. I promote Brad. I promote Ian. Ian has got his channel up and going, revived. I've been watching some of Ian's stuff. Ian, I am jealous you got that E33. It's my favorite. I think I left your comment. It's one of my favorite heavy electric engines, especially in the Penn Central era. And I think I wrote down a couple. I sent you those descriptions. I did a couple of things to modify it, but it's a great engine. So, all right, Jeff, we'll be right back. All right. Who's DMRJ, Bill? DMRJ. I'll try. Maybe I'll either go 8 o'clock or I just won't go at all. I don't want to mess anybody up. I know it's hard sometimes. It's you get a whole bunch of people that are live streaming, and inevitably you're going to step on each other sometimes. So, but Friday night's not my is not my usual night. So, if it's somebody's night, I will not go on and step on them. So, anyway. Yeah, I hope you got it for a good price. Those things go for expensive on eBay, and I've seen a bunch of them. They're up now, but they are like, people want 150, 130, 180 for them. I paid, less than that, on mine. I think I paid probably an average $100 each. I think I paid one that was a little less than 100, one was a little bit more than 100. And they're just hard to come by, especially in Penn Central. So yeah, and yeah, that's something I'm going to do. I got to convert it over to DCC. All right, guys. So we're going to get started on the car, and we are going to start with our gray, and it's a medium gray. It's the Ammo by MIG oil brusher, and like I said, I like to use these. They're very convenient. They're not. You don't really waste paint when you're doing this. All right. And as you can see, you can just open it up for everybody that's new. It's a brush that's contained inside the paint jar, and the brush is always in the paint, so it never dries out as long as you keep the lid on tight, shake it up, or you put it on the Vortex spinner, and you're ready to go. All right. And I have a whole slew of colors here. They make a lot of colors. Sometimes you can get the what do they call those, combo kits, whatever. You can get all the colors, or you can maybe get 10 colors. Spray Gunner has a lot of times they'll have like a 3-pack or a 10-pack. Sometimes that MIG is put together, and they'll sell those. So it's good stuff. I like the MIG, but you can do oil paints, just a regular oil paint. Let's see, do I have them here? I do have some oil paints. I haven't used them yet, but you can just use your regular oil paints and just, put it on a little dat in your palette and thin it out a little bit. You can use that instead of an oil brusher, but you tend to squeeze more out than you need and you wind up wasting. All right. These aren't expensive. They're only about maybe $4 something each, maybe $5, and they last a long time. All right. So, all right. So we're going to start with our gray, and we are going to go, like I said, 3 to 1, we're going to do it. So we'll do like we normally do them with our fades. We're going to put some paint. I'll put one on each panel. All right. So I have I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. We'll say it's 9. We'll go with, oops. I just painted the top of another cap here. Hold on one guy. Close this up. So 9, that would be 3. So we'll actually go 4. We'll do 4. I'm not going to worry about getting white paint in each one. I'm going to put white paint on maybe 4 panels. The brush is going to carry it over as you mix it together. So we're not going to worry about that too much. Let's Vortex spin the white. Okay, let's see. Let's put we'll put a dot of white here. One here, one here, and one there. All right, so we're going roughly 3 to 1. All right. 2.5 to 1 maybe, because I did 10 instead of 12 or instead of 9. So, all right, we're gonna get ourselves a brush. Let's see, we will use this brush right here. All right, semi-wide bristle, stiff bristle, and we are just going to start on each panel, bringing some of this down, just to get it started. Make sure we get down into the ladders, a little bit under the underframe there, and now we're going to go back. And we're going to start smearing that around and blending it together. So some of the white's on the brush, and we're carrying that over to where the grays are. Those of you who are new, we always say, you know, it looks like a mess when you're first starting out. You trust the process, that the more you blend with the brush, and we're going to go back with another brush that's got no paint on it. And then we're going to finish up with a sponge. Make sure we get the hopper shoots here. Get some on there. And we can go back and forth, up and down, swirl it, whatever. We're just doing the best we can to get this all mixed together and blended. Now, when you're thinking about the color wheel, you know, even, you know, black is not on the color wheel, but what's the complementary color to black? It'd be white, right? Black and white makes gray. That's why we kind of went with the gray as the dominant color for our fade, with a little touch of white to lighten it up. All right, so that's about as much as I can go with this brush. The brush has got a lot of paint on it. I'm going to wipe that off. And I put the brush aside. I'm going to get another brush that's clean, even though it doesn't look that clean. It is clean. And we're going to use this clean, dry brush. We are going to blend that some more. In fact, this one's not stiff enough. I am going to go with a different brush. Let's see. Yeah, this one's better. So you can see now where it looks kind of light there, it's taking some of that away and it's blending it in more. And we get more towards the toned down black, faded, weathered black that we're looking for. Remember to get down in here again. Work that in. About as far as we can go. We will wipe this brush off really good. And now we're going to go with a clean sponge. All right. Again, these are just makeup sponges that I get from Amazon. Very cheap. You can buy like a couple of hundred for like a less than $10. You used to be able to find it in the Dollar Store, Dollar Tree. They don't carry them anymore, but I've also picked up odd-shaped sponges from my local supermarket very cheaply. Wherever you can find them cheap. Get them dirty, throw them away. Don't save them. Don't try and wash them out. Same thing with the brushes. The brushes are dollar store brushes. Also brushes bought cheaply off of Amazon. I've gotten some nice some nice brush kits from Five Below with different size brushes. So you don't have to get expensive brushes, guys. Don't waste the money, because the way we dig around and really press hard into these models to make the blends, you will mess up a good brush, and you spend a lot of money on the brushes. You don't want to mess them up like that. So, all right. Let's just turn this over. And we will take a look. I think this is pretty good. So my theory with going with more gray and a little less white, I think is panning out. I like the way this looks. I like a little bit better than the hopper car that I showed you before. All right. So see, I'll get it in there, get it into focus. There we go. Refocused. All right. Turn the car over and you can see the difference right away. All right. So it's shiny black. We've got a really nice fade going on, and I think after a bunch of tries, multiple tries, this is going to work out the way I want it to. So we're going to flip the car over, and we are going to repeat the process right after we have a drink of beer. I'm also going to adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. All right. Cheers, guys. Happy Saturday. Happy summer. Except for Brad. Brad, happy winter for you. Hopefully not too cold down there in New Zealand. Cheers, guys. All right. So let's repeat the process. We're going to start with the gray. I'm going to put one drop in each panel. So 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again. So that's fine. We'll go with four white dots. Oh, not too cold? All right. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I try to remember, your latitude, which makes all the difference, how close you are to the equator. I know a lot of places. My cousin lives in Melbourne, Australia, and she never gets any snow. And it seems like I watch the weather where she lives on my phone app, and they seem to always stay in the 50s and the 60s during the wintertime. So, but yeah, I guess I don't know how much farther south New Zealand is from. I know it's further south, but you guys get some good snow up in the mountains and stuff. They say, what is it they say? It's New Zealand is the Alps of the Southern Hemisphere. Beautiful scenery down there, guy. One of these days I'll get down there. Maybe I'll come visit you, Brad. I got to get in that part of the world. I'm way overdue to go see my cousin. Haven't seen her since she moved down there. And she moved down there quite a long time ago. And we were all real close growing up. And then, we got to be adults and life got in the way and we lose contact a little bit. And next thing I know, she's down in Australia. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? From New Jersey, But I think she took a transfer. She got offered a transfer for the company that she was working for in New York, and she took it and ran with it and never looked back. So yeah, God bless her. She met a nice guy down in Australia, and they're happy, and she loved Melbourne. So more power to her. Just miss her, Like I said, we were all pretty close when we were growing up, and it's hard. Everybody kind of grows apart as we get older. But that's on my bucket list. Australia's on my bucket list, and if I'm down that way, might as well go to New Zealand too, right, Brad? All right, let's see. Don't forget to get down in the chutes down here. Anybody want to maybe? I don't know the answer, so I'm not saying, hey, take a guess. Like I'm going to give you the answer. I know a lot of these type of hoppers, especially when I'm weathering them for my my Ironton layout. And Ironton was a cement railroad. I don't think they had nickel plate hoppers for cement, so I'm wondering what anybody's thoughts on what the commodity would be in this nickel plate hopper here. It was new in 1941, August of 1941. Built then. So built during the war. I don't know what it would. I don't think it would have hauled grain. It could have hauled cement. You never know. I mean, there was cement batch plants all along nickel plate too, I would think, right? A lot of brick business, a lot of brick kilns and stuff along the nickel plate. I know that. I know that from I'm friends with Tony Custer, and I know from talking to him, there's a lot of where he grew up was a lot of brick kilns and brick manufacturing places. So maybe the clay. You saying aggregate, Bill? Yeah, that could be aggregate, right? It could be aggregate. It could be clay. Because I'm just thinking about, like how I normally do, like cement, spilled cement down the sides. I don't know. How would I represent aggregate? Maybe a gray streak going down, maybe, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, so we got the other brush. Blended that even more. Let's wipe the brush off. I forgot to wipe the other brush off. All right. Let's hit it with the sponge. Give it a good wipe. Take the excess off. You think Coke? No, Coke would, well, I don't know. No, I don't know. That would have to ask my CNO modeling friends, Ted Pamperman and Dave Olson, because they model Coke operations on their CNO layouts. I'm trying to think, what do I see that's spotted at those industries in Sewell? I'm tending more like what you're saying, maybe ballast, crushed stone, aggregate, some kind of aggregate. So maybe a gray, JP, you're saying, or even raw sienna. Yeah, we probably could hit it with a little bit of raw sienna. Yeah. Let's see. We'll when we get to that point, we'll see if we're going to do anything with that there. All right, so we're wiping most of this away. I'm going to get another clean part of the sponge. All right, we'll go to the back corner here. And wipe away some more. A little less finer detail on here, JP, so I don't think I have anything that's sticking out I could break off this week, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at the progress. I'll put both hands there so it focuses. All right, it kind of matches the other side, right? That's looking good. So I think the experiment's turning out to be a success here with that ratio of paint, oil paints. So awesome. All right, let's see. Do we do the ends or we do the top first? Let's do the top first. All right. The ends are the pain in the ass, so I'll save that for last. I think I'll take another drink before I start. So cheers. All right. Okay, so same thing. We will do some random dots across the top. On the hatches. And the top is the part that's facing the sun, so we can go a little bit lighter, a little heavier on the fade on top. At least that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So, all right. So what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 16. So let's see. We go 2, 4, 6, 8, 16. All right, so we will go 6. We'll put 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. That's 4. And 6. We'll do 2 little guys, 1 there and 1 there, just a little bit. So I'm not confident in getting those colors to come over to the other side. So, all right, so go back, get our brush, start working these in. Get the initial smear going, and then we'll come back and blend it some more with the second brush and the sponge. Oh, okay. So they did haul cement. All right. And lime. So lime would be like a whitish light gray. Thanks for hitting the alphabet machine there for me, Bill. Appreciate that. It's hard to do research on the fly here. Especially I'm using my my computer for playback to check the comments, and I'm using the phone as the camera, so I can't stop and Google. Let's go to this side, same thing. Looks like it's drying fast. It does. I mean, because you're thinning it out so much, you're spreading it out. Believe me, even though it looks like it's drying, it's still wet to the touch for a little while. It's typical oil paint. The enamels dry a little faster than the oil paint does. I don't know if I told you, I've been working on this beekeeper for my sister-in-law. She's a beekeeper as a hobby, and making a version of her with the beekeeping apparatus, the hives and everything. And I painted her with the white oil, and a week and a half later, it was still wet to the touch. So don't let it fool you. It doesn't really dry that fast. So I always wipe this off. All right, let's get the other one. Go in and take some more away, blend that in. And we'll work a lot of it out with the sponge. In fact, I'll get out one of those small little sponges on a stick. Actually, I have one out right here. And I'll use that to get into the small areas. Yeah, maybe we'll represent a lime load, maybe. So we'll go like a whitish gray. Very light gray. I think I got a light gray in there. I'm not sure. A bit more paint on the top for the fade effect. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. I'm going to go a little heavier on the top. You can see right away it's a little bit extra up there now. But I will still take some of this away with the sponge. But it'll be a little dark. It'll be a little bit more than what's on the side here. So all right, we'll swipe this brush off really good. Let's see. We'll start with the sponge, and then I'll use the small sponge to get in a little tighter. There we go. And I think when I throw some of the pigment up top, JP, it's going to probably darken it a little bit later on anyway. So yeah, I think you're right. We'll stay with a little bit more, a little bit lighter for fade, and then we'll see what happens when we put the wash on top. The wash and the pigments. Let's get this little micro sponge. I'm going to get a little bit more off the hatches there. Get a little bit more in here too. There we go. And worst comes to worst, if you think you go too heavy on something, the odorless mineral spirits will take away a lot of the oil. You can use it as a thinner, just like you would use for the enamels. Enamels and the oils work with the same thinner. So save down the road, I'm not happy with this. I want to take some away. I'll just hit it with a little bit of thinner on a brush and then sponge it back. But I think this is pretty good. I'm digging what's going on here. So, all right. So we got our top, one side, the other side. Now for the pain in the butt areas, we're going to go into our slope sheet. All right. So again, we got to get in there with the brushes, the smaller sponge to wipe some of it away. You do get a lot more grime inside these areas. All the dust gets kicked up in there and gets caught in there. So you don't have to be too concerned about getting it perfect. It's not as easy to see in there, and then all the other grime effects are going to cover that up. And obviously this is going to be a little bit harder here because of all the brake paraphernalia that's there. So, all right, so let's get started. Let's get our gray. All right, we will put a dot there, a dot there, a dot there. And when you think about it, the sun's not really hitting the inside there, so it's not going to be as faded. Now, I am talking to myself here, thinking to myself, and we are not going to worry too much about fading the inside there. So what we will do is we will grime it up later on. So with the wash and the pigments. And here we go. It's hard to reach in there, so we're reaching around here, trying to get inside, and that's about as much as we're going to get. Go back, we'll do the same thing with the white. I think we are done with the gray for now. I'm going to put this back. If I need it, I could take it back out again. And get the white. Okay. Go back in. We'll do 3 dots. Same thing on the other side. Three. And we'll leave the white on the side. We might use that later for our lime and cement dust. All right, I am going to go in with a smaller brush. So let's go in with this brush right here. And only because we're trying to get in between all these ladders and stuff. What's going on here? All right. So we are getting inside. We're just smearing that around. Get underneath the best I can. Some on the end sills. Let's go to the other side, do the same thing. Just the real pain in the butt side here with all the brink reservoir and pump and everything else in there. We just do the best we can. Get some on the gear itself, some on the ladder, some on the and the brake wheel. Just smear that around. Ray, how's it going, sir? I was looking to see if you did any live live streams today. I didn't see it. So how did the Village on the Bridge go? You didn't get rained out, did you? Hopefully you got to be able to get the shot and do a little rail fanning over there. It's probably one of my favorite rail fanning spots there. So, and TRRA. Okay, let's take out one of these sponges. Let's get in there with the sponge. Again, this is very hard to reach in here, so use smaller tools and try to be as gentle and go as lightly as we can without breaking anything. Okay, so we're not going to worry about ourselves too much in here. Okay, so this is going to get washed in there. It's going to get some pigment. All the dirt buildup is going to be inside there. So, a dozen people on the bridge. Weather ended just in time. Awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to see the picture. All right, let's get in here. Same thing. Clean up some of this excess. Coming from the side. Here we go. So they had good attendance at the RPM, Ray? I heard rumors that it was over 1,000 this year. Yeah, could do a clean sponge here too. Don't be afraid to change up your sponges and your brushes. They get a certain amount on there, and then no matter how much rubbing you're going to do with that, it's not going to take any more away. You're just going to smear around what's on there already. So get a clean side of the brush or clean side of the sponge and work it with that. All right. About that's all we're going to get in there. All right, guys. So let's look around. We have 900. There you go. All right. That's about what they do every year. So that's cool. 900. And everybody just registers at the door. I'm amazed with that. That boggles my mind that they pull that off like that. So, all right. Give me a second, guys. All right. So we're going to move on. We got our fade going. Like just recap. We went majority with the medium gray. All right. So we did the ratio of 3 to 1, roughly 3 to 1. 3 gray to 1 white. And we used the white just to lighten it up a little bit more. And we got this nice fade going on the black. So it looks like it's dusty, but it's also faded out. So I think that combination has worked pretty good. So now for the wash, I'm thinking about trying something new tonight. I haven't had a chance to use this Africa Core wash. Let's get it to focus. And it's like a brownish, a very dark brownish towards grayish brown color. And I'm thinking about hopefully that would stand out a little bit on this car. We'll try a small corner, see what it looks like. If I'm not happy with it, I will go on to something else. All right. So we want to have some kind of wash on this car to offset the ribs a little bit, and also to have something for the pigment to adhere to. So. Yeah, this is really the first time I'm using this, Ian. I've had this in my supplies in a while. And a lot of these washes, a lot of them are like just varying shades of brown. Some of them are varying shades of gray. So I want to try this out. I was looking at it compared to the car. It's almost got like a little bit of a greenish hue to it too. Like a little bit gray, a little bit green, a little brown. So we'll see what happens. All right. So we will decant some of this out of here. We'll get our dropper. Drop some into our tray. You can see what it looks like in the tray there. Let's put a little bit on the white there. Yeah, I think that's going to work out. We'll see. Let's cover this up so we don't spill it on ourselves. Let's get a brush. Make sure it's pliable. We'll take the brush. We're going to do what we normally do. We'll go across the top of the car and let it run down. Let's get a little bit down, more down this end here. The other side. Get a chance for the capillary action to take it down. Swipe the brush off and just streak this down randomly. What do you think? I think that was a good hunch on that color. I think it was a good hunch on it. I think it's working out exactly how I envisioned it to work out. So that's awesome. Yeah, there you go. Let's put some down in here. All right. Let's wipe the brush off again. Let's get ourselves a wider, clean brush. This is soft bristle. We're just going to use this to lightly blend it a little bit more. Yeah, I know. I got excited, JP. I was going to experiment on the corner first, right? I said, screw it. Let's just dive right in. Okay, you recorded some audio? Awesome. All right, cool. Looking forward to the RPM reports. All right. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. We'll go back with the sponge later on. Let's turn the car around. Let's repeat the process. We're just going to go all out, JP. Damn the torpedoes. Let's get a little bit more. You know, they say like dog and sees squirrel, you know. That's a squirrel. And it just jumped right in. All right. Let's brush this down random. All right. Okay, let's clean that brush off. Let's go back with the wider brush, very lightly with the soft, wide brush. Blend that down a little bit more, take some of that wash away. Wipe it off. Go back. Okay, cool. Let that dry. Now let's get into the interior here. We will just hit that with some wash. Some wash on the ladders, wash on the brake wheel up top here. All right. Let's do the other side, same thing. Let's get a little bit more. Get a little bit on this brake paraphernalia here. All right. Let's get in with another brush. I need a smaller brush that's not too wide but dry. Let's see, this one might work. Get in there, get some of that excess out of there. Same thing over here. Get some of this excess out of there so it dries a little quicker. Again, we're trying to get it to the tacky, be tacky. Not tacky like I'm tacky, but you know, a little tacky. For the pigment to adhere. So you can see that these are just starting to dry up a little bit now. So we are going to go back a little bit with the sponge, and then we are going to hit it with the pigments. But let's get the top done first. I'll bring some down the top on both sides of the walkway. Get some in the walkway and just draw some out to the sides. Turn it around, same thing over here. All right. Let's hit it with the big brush again. Just take some of the excess away so it dries a little quicker. We're going to turn this way. Awesome. Okay. All right, see. JP, you got a question. Let's see. I see the touch of green you stated in paper towel. I wonder if there's an oil color like that for the general fade, maybe Starship selections. I do have a Starship, it's called Starship Filth. And I think, what did I use that? I think I used that on some of the silver and gray cars, the Starship Filth. I do have a dark, what's this one here? I have a field green, which is like a dark green. So what are you thinking? You're thinking the dark green with on the black might be a fade? It's a possibility. I could probably try it out on that hopper car there. What else do I have here? No, that's just black. I have a dark green. Oh, here we go. Here's an even darker green. Although I think the field green looks darker than the dark green, but this is a little bit more of a greenish green. That's a little bit more of a grayish green, but the field green. Yeah, I got to experiment. I'm liking with the the gray, the medium gray, and a little touch of white. But I might this week experiment, JP. You're always good for sounding ideas off of, and try a little bit of green, dark green on the black and see what that does. But maybe dark green and a white, maybe. So, all right, guys. So we're gonna go back with our sponge, just lightly blend this a little bit more with the sponge, all the way around the car. And I like to do that just, if nothing else, to get rid of some of the brush streaks that you see that are left behind from the wash. Same thing on the other side. Okay. Same thing at the top. So I'm just going to blot the top. I don't want to wipe too much away. It looks like we're taking some away there. Same thing over here. We'll just blot it. All right, we're going to go in with our pigments now. So we're going to go with Russian Earth. Actually, right here in the tray, actually it's a mixture of Russian Earth and dark Earth. I'm going to put a little more Russian Earth in there. I want to get a little bit darker hue. So let's get some of the Russian Earth. We'll keep that on the side. Yeah, you can see the difference between the two pigments. So this over here is the dark Earth, and that's the Russian Earth. So we'll do a blend of both, just get a little variation on it. So and let's go back. Let's get another brush here. And we'll use this brush for the pigment. We'll start with the Russian Earth. Put that on. Get some down the other side. Maybe a little bit of the little touch of the lighter earth there. Flick it up the side of the car. Blow off the excess. All right, what do you think, guys? I think that's pretty good. And we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll start with the Russian Earth. We'll bring some along the bottom, kick it up, especially at the end there. Got a little too much there. Along the bottom, kick it up. A little touch of the light earth. And then throw it up the side of the car a little bit. Remember, grime gets kicked up from the roadbed and flies up on the car. The wash is the grime that's coming down, so we always go down from top to bottom. When we're doing the pigments, we're going from bottom to top. Blow off the excess. All right, inspect the car. Let's get some of this pigment into the ends here. We're just going to dab some in there, because everything accumulates inside these ends here. There we go. Same thing on this end. Get some of that combination of Russian earth and dark earth in there. There we go. Okay, and we'll do the roof. We'll get the darker stuff down the walkway there. Uh-oh. Almost broke the roof walk, JP. Go easy, Ted. Go easy. Getting around the edge of the roof walk. Same thing on this side. Blow off the excess. Brush off a little of the excess there. All right. Brush off some of the excess. Let's take a look around the car, guys. Let's see what the verdict is. The ends, this side compared to that side. Let's knock a little excess off there. Also, too, I need to get some of this dust in here on the bottom. Almost forgot about that. We are ready for the wheels. Okay. All right, so the main body's done. Where are we at time-wise here? We are at 67 minutes. We are making good times tonight, so we can take our time a little bit here. Okay, we're going to go in first. We'll do the wheels. As always, we were going to use some kind of a rust acrylic. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, JP. I think it's a good combination. Yeah, I'm intrigued by your thoughts about the dark green. So I will experiment during the week with that on a trash car, on a black car that I don't care about, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think this works out to be a good combination. So. Are you tormenting me, Steve? I hate Nickelback. Nickelback never looks so good. Yeah, nickel plate. Yeah. Let's see. Beaten, battered, and bruised. Love it. Awesome. All right, let's get some of this in there. We'll use our micro brush to do the wheels. Again, easy peasy. We don't pop the wheels out. We're just going to do them right in frame. See, is this micro brush good, or did I use this during the week? It's pliable. Yeah, it's good. All right. Get some paint on our micro brush. Spin the wheels. Dip the brush. Spin the wheels. Dip the brush, spin the wheels. One more time, and we'll flip the car over to the other side. Okay, same thing. All right, one more truck to do. Now for the side frames, I was thinking about changing it up tonight. I know I always tell you guys I like to use the cursed soil. Any kind of a light tan, a light brown, will do. I just happen to have the cursed soil on hand. That's what I like to use. It's a light beigeish tan. I'm thinking about, I don't know how this is going to work out. I might live to regret it, but we'll see. I'm thinking about trying a dark rust color. on the side frames, and then putting the Russian earth on top of that. So let me go grab my rust. Oh, I don't even think I have a rust paint, actually. It might not work. I got rust washes, and I don't want to use that. I have the rust pigment. Streaking rust effects. This might be it. We're going to try the streaking rust effects. I will try one truck first. JP, I swear, I'm going to try one side, one truck first. I will not jump ahead. We'll see what happens. Shake this up. And we will decant some of it out into the tray. I don't think I've ever opened this bottle up. So let's see. It's a brand new bottle. No, I think I might have had it open one time before. Let me shake it up a little bit more. An odd truck just means it was worked on. Yeah. Yeah, red brown. That's what this is, JP. It looks like a red brown, this streaking rust effect. So let's try it out. We don't want all our trucks looking the same. I do the trucks all the same every single week, even though we vary up how much pigment we put on each one and the shade of pigment. But all right, let's see. All right. Let's get our dropper here. We'll drop some over here. It kind of looks like the same shade of rust as the acrylic that we use on the wheels, right? This one and that one. There you go. All right, so this might work out. It's like almost like a brick brown, almost looks like, right? All right, let's see. Let's use this brush here. Dip some in there. Just drop a little bit on the paper towel and apply that to the side frame. Make sure we get the whole thing, the brick shoes, everything. Let's wipe that off. Let's get another brush. Can I use this one for the pigment? I think I used this one for the pigment before. All right. Let's get our pigment. A little mix of the Russian and the dark earth, and just blot that on there and see what happens. Okay. Bang that off. What do you guys think? Is that too much of a rust undertone? I can add a little bit more pigment to it too. Yeah, all right. So NKP is not New Jersey and Pennsylvania, I know. They did go into Buffalo. They did cross New York. It's probably more Indiana, right, Bill? Indiana, Ohio. Definitely Ohio. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let me look at it. I think it's okay. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to try this out. We'll go to rest of the trucks with that. I think I want to add just a little bit more pigment, maybe. Just drop a little bit more on there. All right. Let's go to the next truck. We do the same thing. We'll dip the brush, put a little bit of the excess on the paper towel, go in and dot this on here. All right. Let's get some pigment in there. And I was talking to him earlier, right, Bill, about nickel plate had a lot of brick industries along it, so could be brick dust, right? Actually, that's not bad. Let me get it in my hand so it focuses. You guys can see that? That's actually not bad, right? All right. The reddish pigment would be rust, and we already got some rust on there with that rust paint. If anything, I'll put a little rust maybe in the springs, but I don't want to go too crazy with it. So let's say maybe just a little touch, little touch. All right. All right. We'll flip the car over, do the same thing on the other side. All right. Get some of the paint. And dab that on there. So this is another variation you guys can do with the trucks, all right? Like I said, it doesn't have to be that light tan that I like to use. I like to use that a lot of times because it gives a little bit of a highlight behind the pigment. But it looks like this dark rust is working pretty good too. So let's get this on there. Like I said, you can use a little bit of a darker brown if you wanted to. Really, you need something that's going to do a little highlight in the background and be a carrier for the pigment. And the pigment's what's going to give you that texture, the texture look that you see on freight trucks. They never look shiny painted. They always have that rough, textured look to them. So, all right, let's put that there. Let's go back with our pigment brush. That's not it. Where did I put it? Right here. Let's mix some of this together. Get a bunch on the brush and drop it on there. Just dab it on. Don't paint it on, dab it on. All right, same thing on the other side here. Let's get some of this on the brush. Knock off the excess. Actually, that's not bad. I want to put a little bit more pigment on there. It's a little sparse on the bottom here. All right, awesome. Get a little touch of rust for JP. It's better to rust than fade away. Didn't they sing that? Who was that? Neil Young. I was having a brain fart there for a second. Neil Young. Better to rust than fade away. All right. Since we have a little bit of time left, Neil Young. Yes, sir. That's it. Bob Stetzer. I didn't see you, dude. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Stop with Nickelback. Stop it with Nickelback. All right. So we've talked earlier about what are we going to do for any kind of a streaks for whatever commodity, and I think Bill had a great idea of maybe either they did haul cement, they also did lime. So limestone or lime would be maybe like a very whitish light gray. What do you think, guys? Am I? Well, let's see. Maybe. So I don't have a really light gray unless I use, what is this? That's a green. I can actually do the gray and the white together. Put a dot in the same spot. We could do that, I think. Let's try that out. Let's get the white and the grays right here. So we'll start with the white. And normally what you would do is you would do it around the hatches. So up and around the hatches and something going down the sides, you know, where it would spill out. All right. Let's get a little gray on there. And we will streak that down. So we're going to put the gray next to the white. So we'll get a lighter shade there. All right, see what happens here. Let's see, let's get a brush that we used before. No, not that brush. See, do I have another small brush here? Not one, no. Use this one. Let's use this one. Actually, that's just kind of doing almost like the fade before. But we could take some of this away with the thinner too. Clean the brush off. Some random streaks down. Let's try these sponges. There we go. Wipe away a little bit more. I don't know, what do you think? Might have went a little heavy, but maybe not. We'll see. Some of that excess around from the hatch there. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I didn't put any rust on the friction bearing outside of that paint, but you probably could hit the friction bearing with a little bit of like streaking oil to give it that oily journal box look. Yeah. All right. Got a little bit off the top here. Gonna do the other side. Use actual dirt. All right. Pigment and chalk. All right. Okay, let's go a little lighter on this side here. I think I'm gonna go just maybe a dot under each one. And same thing with the gray. Then use whatever's carried over on the brush. All right. Let's blend that down. Yeah, it's probably the way to go. I think this side's a little better than the other side. That's all right. Okay, let's get rid of some of that there again. Blend in a little bit with the sponge. Yeah, I like that better. Let's take a look at the other side. Oh, that's not bad, but yeah, see, this was a little too heavy. Let's go take a little bit more away. And where's that brush? Use some of that's just still on the brush and blend that in. There we go. That's better. Okay, guys, I think we are done. Let's see. We got this side. We got the ends. This side. The end. The roof. And again, let's get rid of some of these brush marks here. Blend that a little bit more. All right, there you go. Much better. Okay. I think I'm going to call it, guys. What do you think? All right, Steve. Nickelback would be proud. I know. Let's see. I agree with what you used. A bit of the wash left on the tray to add a bit of lighten it up. Which wash? That wash is all dried out. I'd have to dump some more out, but that's probably an idea too. Yeah. Let's see. Looks good. I thought you went a bit heavy on the hatch mess, but it looks great. Yeah. Do you think it's still heavy, or should I take some of it away? I think I lightened it up more when I worked on it. Let's see. I have a tendency, JP, to go heavy sometimes, and I really gotta try and throttle it back a little bit, you know. But I think it's all right for now. Again, I will set this car aside. I will look at it in a few days. If anything I want to touch up, I'll touch it up. But outside of that, I think it's done. I think for a black car, I think we're improving here on the channel. With our black fade, we're coming up with new combinations. Let's put it compared to this hopper car that I did the other day. Definitely, I think it's better than the hopper car. The hopper car's got that little bit of a ghost chalkiness to it, where this has got with a little bit more of the gray and that different wash also, right? The what was it? The Africa Core wash. I think it really worked out good on this car. So I think I'm happy with it. All right. And again, like I said, in a couple of days, I'll look at it. And if I'm not happy, I will go back and fix it a little bit. But 9 times out of 10, I wind up not doing that, because you go back later on, you look at it and go, you know what? Yeah, now that everything's dry, it looks good. So thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Bill Hawk, the green. What green? And tonight's car looks much better. Thank you, JP. Appreciate it. No damage. Yes, success. I came close, JP. The walkway started lifting up a little bit, but I pressed it down and I went lighter. I did good, you know. The gray worked better. Yeah, I think so too, buddy. What else? I like it. Looks good. Yeah, Jeff, thank you for joining on. I'll hopefully see you next time. I will definitely go subscribe to your channel. Hopefully you're subscribed to mine. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, we hit a milestone. We are at 300 subscribers. So thank everybody who's subscribed and anybody who's spread the word about the channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for joining me this week. We will catch you next week. Well, no, I'm sorry. Probably not. All right. Because I know Bill said something about somebody else having a 9 o'clock on Friday night. So I'll probably skip this week, guys. I might put a standalone video out, a quick video with some shorts. Check out for those, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks on Saturday Night Live. Thanks, guys. Catch you later. Bye.